Let's get our research team in now as the top 10 stocks to focus on. Ola Electric and Yes Bank are the first ones we want to sort of highlight. Nimesh, it's back to you.
Thanks, Prashant. So, both Ola and Yes Bank, we did report yesterday that, the identities on who are the sellers. I'll start with Ola first. Hyundai was a seller in Ola Electric. They did it at a discount and the stock ended lower. But there was a confirmation that Hyundai and Kia, they both sold a little over 3% stake in Ola Electric. But there was no confirmation on the buyers list. But I understand some funds have bought in yesterday's block deal. So that was Ola. The second important deal was Yes Bank. The stock ended almost 10% lower after the large block. And then there was a confirmation as well in the evening that Carlyle indeed sold 3% stake at a discount. And that's the reason why the stock ended lower. For Yes Bank, there could be a further supply overhang because Carlyle still owns, after even selling 3%, they own a little over 3.5% stake in Yes Bank. And there is one more large private equity investor, Advent, who owns 10% stake. So the supply overhang could be there in Yes Bank in the near term, and hence that stock ended lower and could be under pressure in today's market as well. So these were the two large blocks which got executed yesterday.
Okay, all right, Nimesh. Thanks a lot. We'll keep an eye out on those stocks. Well, that said, let's hop across to Ritu because there could be some more paper that's coming in there. HBD Financial getting the green signal. Ritu, tell us, HDFC Bank is the stock in focus.
Yes, Nigel, HDFC Bank is going to be in focus because SEBI has finally greenlit that much anticipated 12,500 crore rupee IPO of its subsidiary HDB Financial Services, and that will mark the largest IPO by any NBFC in recent times and the first HDFC Group company to go public in nearly 7 years. The IPO itself is a mix of about 2,500 crores of a fresh issue and importantly 10,000 crores offer for sale by the parent HDFC Bank, which currently holds more than 94% stake in the company. Although even after the IPO, HDB will continue to remain a subsidiary of HDFC Bank. Now, the listing is not just strategic, it is very much regulatory because HDB, keep in mind, has been classified as an upper layer NBFC by RBI, and that mandates a public listing by September this year.
All right, Ritu, thanks a lot for that. And there's going to be a party in Bangalore today. Once the team comes back with the cup, I'm sure, Ritu, you're going to be dancing on the streets?
Well, Nigel, there's been a party all night long.
Wow.
I mean, some of us found it really hard to sleep.
All right. I was surprised that you're up so early, Ritu, but HBD Financial is important as well. Thanks a lot, Ritu, for giving us that. And I'll get on to a chat with you and ask you how the celebrations are progressing. But let's get back to Nimesh. Nimesh, AB Fashion and Alkem Labs, you hinted there could be larger trades. Bang on. Tell us more.
So, Nigel, yesterday we saw 4 large blocks. Today there are going to be 4 large blocks. I'll cover 2 of them, Alkem Labs and AB Fashion. In Alkem Labs, the promoter is looking to sell close to 1.5% stake via block deal. The offer price is at a 3% discount to yesterday's closing price. So my sense is that maybe the deal will happen in the block window and the promoter will raise close to 825 crores approximately. So that's one sizable deal. The other one is AB Fashion and Retail. This is going to be interesting. Flipkart is selling its entire 6% stake in AB Fashion and Retail. Remember, this is the demerged entity. The other part has to still list. There the discount is quite steep at 7% discount. So the floor price is 80 bucks. And as I said, they're going to sell their entire 6% stake and raise close to 600 crores. So I'll go with marginal green for Alkem because it might happen in the block window. But we'll go with red because of the dip discount in AB Fashion.
All right, no, absolutely. Blocks galore, Nimesh, right? And I think a lot happening and more coming. Let's talk about Indegene and Tata Technologies. Vivek has got details on both. Vivek, morning.
Well, good morning. Continuing with the trend of block deals that Nimesh just highlighted, 2 more large blocks on offer today, and both of these blocks are actually clean out trades. So that's something to keep in mind. So the first one that we're discussing is Indegene. It's a very large block. So Carlyle, one of the early pre-IPO PE investors, is completely exiting its stake from Indegene. A 10.2% equity is what they're looking to sell. The floor price is at 580 rupees a share, 6.4 discount to yesterday's close. So the size of the block will be in excess of 1,400 crore rupees. The other stock on the radar is Tata Technologies. Now, this is interesting. The seller here is TPG Rise. So now they are left with close to 2.1% of the total equity that they are completely exiting. Interestingly, remember, at the end of the March quarter, they held a little over 6% stake, which they have been paring down since April. So post this particular block deal, TPG Rise will not have any stake in the company. So that's another stock to keep on the radar. The floor price is at the 3% discount and the size of the block is slightly over 630 crore rupees.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vivek. Well, let's go to Ekta then. She's here to tell us about Sun Pharma. Ekta?
Thanks for that. Well, yes, Sun Pharma is in focus because they've announced the top-line results of a particular molecule which is under development for them, phase 2 trials of SCD-044. It is basically being studied for psoriasis and atopic dermatitis. The drug has not met primary endpoints in either of the two studies, that is for psoriasis as well as for dermatitis, and hence the development is being discontinued. No further clinical trials are planned. Sun Pharma and Spark will also be in focus on account of this, will assess the next steps for the compound. It is obviously a negative because the street was looking at this particular molecule quite closely and was considered to be one of the key assets in Sun Pharma's pipeline, and obviously Spark would be involved because of the manufacturing part of it. Expect red for both these stocks.
All right, Ekta, thanks very much. NMDC Techno Electric next. Vamakshi, good morning.
Prashant, let me first start off with NMDC. The counter is expected to open in the red, and that is because they've cut the lump ore prices as well as the fines prices. They've gone ahead and cut the lump ore price by 140 rupees per ton, bringing it to now 6,300 rupees per ton. As far as fines is concerned, they've cut the price out here by 150 rupees per ton, bringing it to 5,350 rupees per ton. Keep in mind that just a month ago, they had gone ahead and hiked the prices in both iron ore lump as well as fine by almost 440 rupees per ton. So therefore, this cut coming through soon enough, going with the red for this counter. But apart from that, keep an eye out on Techno Electric as well, going with the green because the company has been selected by RailTel as managed service data center partner through the open tender process on revenue sharing basis. They've gone ahead and signed a 30-year contract. They will be setting up a 10 megawatt data center in phases on RailTel land in Noida. The overall execution period for this project is 1.5 to 3 years and will be executed in two phases of almost 5 megawatts each. So therefore, given this development, going with the green for this counter.
All right, Vamakshi, and that point on NMDC, you all probed the management yesterday with regard to that cut because of the change in formula, and bang on 24 hours later, we see that price cut that comes about. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, let's do a quick recap of all the top stocks we covered, the ones with positive news flow. Alkem, HDFC Bank, Techno Electric. On the flip side, you have more number of stocks that will be reacting to negative news flow. They include Aditya Birla Fashion, Indegene, Tata Tech, Ola Electric, Yes Bank, Sun Pharma, and NMDC. Turning our attention away from the equity markets, then Manisha Gupta joins us to tell us what's going on in the commodity markets. Morning, Manisha.
Morning, Nigel. Thank you for that. I'll start with gold and silver because we've seen a rebound come in for both of these. Remember, we are looking at safe haven buying, one from the geopolitical side of it, and then there are slowdown concerns as well. The Chinese economic data coming in on the weaker side clearly has led to safe haven buying here. And then the markets also are looking at the decline in US dollar index. That's keeping the prices higher. All of these markets also are cautious ahead of the potential call between Trump and Xi Jinping. Of course, the date and time is not known, but there are expectations that it could happen this week itself. And then it also is about the U.S. non-farm payroll data that's on Friday. That will also tell you on whether or not we are looking at the first Fed rate interest cut coming in the month of September or not. That is what the markets really seem to be betting on at this point in time. I quickly want to touch upon metals as well, barring copper, which is seeing some gains. Everything else, including steel, iron ore, aluminum, nickel, are trading at multi-week to multi-month lows at this point in time. Pressure from China and, of course, the U.S. tariff increase, all of that weighing onto the sector.
Okay, all right, Manisha. Thanks a lot for joining and giving us a quick update. For the time being, we slip into a short break. Come back. We'll get to some fundamental analysis. Devin Choksi of DR Choksi FinServ is waiting by.